Hello and welcome. Welcome to Around the Town with Mark. I am Mark Whalen, your host, and I am always glad to have you tune in and visit with us. Well, who can believe it? It's September already. The summer has just flown on by. I hope that you have been able to enjoy some of the great events and some of the great places that I've shared with you here on Around the Town with Mark. Well, we're not done with you yet. There's still some great events coming up that you're going to want to know about. Today, we're going to be talking about one of those, but you're going to have to get yourself ready. I got a 4-letter word coming up for you. Well, it's September, and a new season is coming, and that means fall. But in a good way. The Groton Fall Festival is coming up October 8th, 11 to 5, and we're going to be talking about the Groton Fall Festival today with my two guests. Allow me to introduce Lian Obrey and Kate Poole, who are going to tell us all about the Groton Fall Festival. So welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, who would like to start? Lian, I think I'll start with you. Please tell us about the Groton Fall Festival.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I believe this is our 7th year, and this started as a way for the Groton Business Association to have a way to introduce some of the businesses that were unknown in the town of Groton. And we thought if we put it together as a fall festival, we could mix enough things together that we could draw people out to come and meet the business people of Groton, the artists of Groton, the small business, big business, everything. And it's worked out very, very well. And we continue on year after year.
Great, great. Well, I will again, as I said, it is Saturday, October 8th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Pequannock Plains Park. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Right downtown Groton.
Always Columbus Day weekend.
Oh,
Saturday
okay.
of Columbus Day weekend.
Ah, so it's a holiday weekend as well. So
Right.
people have lots of time off to enjoy that.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Exactly.
Kate, could you tell us a little bit about what kind of vendors and activities that will be going on at the festival for the visitors to enjoy?
Oh, there's a wide range. We tried to start it as an event for all of the community, every age, every profession. And there's entertainment, there's bands. We have, is the magic show coming back?
There will be a magician.
There's a magician sometimes for the kids, and there's usually a lot of activity in the playground area for the little kids. And then there are vendors, there's nonprofits. I had a booth there a couple times. There's different health practitioners, and I know a friend of mine has a booth where she gives out free reflexology. There's different, the Boy Scouts are there doing whatever the Boy Scouts do there.
Well, I think they help us with the cleanup.
And they help us with the cleanup, yeah.
Yep.
I don't have a booth anymore because I'm a volunteer now, but I would encourage vendors to take a booth because it's a lot of fun, lots of exposure, and really it's across the board of what kind of person would take a booth.
And of course, for those of our viewers who aren't familiar with Pequannock Plains Park, it's a very big park. And what's very important for a lot of vendors is it's very, very flat.
Right.
Which a lot of vendors really prefer.
And we give them a lot of help setting up or coming in or finding what they need. And there's plenty of food vendors too.
Right.
Yeah.
We,
while you're there.
Going back to the vendors for just a moment, though, if you sign up now, it's a little less money. After mid-September, the cost goes up a little bit.
I think it's the 23rd. I'll check.
But in the morning, when they come, we have volunteers there. They can bring their cars in. We help them unload. We help them set up. And then that way they can move their cars out to their special parking area. For most of the people coming, the parking is up at Ella T. Grasso. We have free shuttles that take people back and forth, so there's absolutely no problem with parking for anybody. And we have handicap parking right in front. So it's very well organized. We've learned a lot over the years. We still have a lot to learn, but it's really kind of interesting. The first year, you know, a new event, we maybe had 500 people, if that. But now we're in excess of 5,000 people in the course of the day.
Wonderful.
And I think a lot of it is because we have so much diversity going on. We have a group, I wish I could think of their name, but they are doing Swinging in the Sky.
Oh, that's a new one.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
And of course we have the radio stations that support us. And we did used to do bands, but we found that that really wasn't the place for them. So we just have the radio stations. And this year we will have a young man, Hunter Wood, that's going to be helping us with a little bit of music and also having the ability to let people know what's going on. And it's just a little bit of everything. We have Touch-A-Truck, and we're very diverse from that. We have everything from a cement truck to a fire truck and everything in between.
Do we have a helicopter this year?
We do
Sometimes
have a
we
helicopter.
Yeah, we get a
Oh,
helicopter.
that's
Of course,
great.
the helicopter sometimes has to leave because it has some important thing it has to do,
Well,
like rescue someone.
We actually
you know?
have two this year.
Oh, we have two. Okay.
We have Lifestar, which is the one that
Yeah.
will come in, but it may have to go out. And then we have one that's coming in that's a stationary one, and that one's just a view. The
A
other
static
one,
display. if you
Right.
will,
Yeah.
Well, I
Right.
would imagine that having a helicopter leave is as much fun as watching it.
Oh, it's really
Especially
amazing.
for the kids, they'd love to be able to see that
Yeah.
helicopter leave. But-
Absolutely.
So let's just retouch on a couple of very important aspects that you've mentioned. As someone who's done community events, I know one, parking is very, very important for both your vendors and your visitors. And obviously, we just want to remind people, you've just said that you've got plenty of parking for both. And volunteers. Volunteers are always very, very important. Are you still looking for volunteers to come and help for the event?
We always are looking for volunteers. The Navy is very, very good.
They've always
yeah.
been wonderful,
Right.
yes.
But I'm hoping maybe this year, I've spoken to one of their members. We're hoping to maybe get the Navy Chiefs group in. There's a group of chiefs that do outreach. And because I think they'd be perfect to help with the parking, because it is in the morning, it's very chaotic.
Yes.
And so hopefully we'll have their help there. But anybody that would like to help, all they've got to do is go on to grotonbiz.com and contact us.
Okay.
And
Yep, our website there
There it
is right there, where people, again, our visitors, our viewers out there, please take note of that. If you have time, October 8th to volunteer, please contact the
absolutely.
Groton Business Association.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's always fun. It's always fun.
Oh, it is.
I love being a volunteer. I enjoy being a volunteer more than I do just being a visitor.
Oh, that's so fun. I helped you sell, we're selling sodas and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I usually stay and clean up too. That's actually not bad. That doesn't sound like fun, but we always need
It's
cleanups.
not really work, because
Yeah, it's
I've
with
said this
people,
before
yeah.
on my shows, talking about community events and volunteerism is being a volunteer is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You meet some great people. It's not really work, because everyone's sort of all energized to make
Yeah.
that event happen, and it's just fun.
But we have a lot of community sponsorship too, so that's a good thing too. Like Groton Utilities has just been amazing every single year. They pull through.
Absolutely.
And we have, the day helps us with the advertising, and we have, Groton Parks and Rec. We couldn't do it without them. They totally cooperate with us so well, because they have, that's,
Well, that's rather
Their
important,
realm, right?
because Pequannock Springs Park is
yeah. But they're like, no trouble, anything we need.
that's great.
They work with that.
That's
And then
wonderful.
TVC, Thames Valley Communications, also sponsors, and Bridge is providing what, donuts and,
I don't know, the
the
bridge
volunteers,
market, whatever
yeah.
we need.
yeah, the Bridge Market
Karen
helps.
is wonderful down there, and she just comes right through for us. Usually, I think probably she's going to be doing breakfast. And we do feed our volunteers too, and give them a shirt, so there's
Right.
a little
Oh, it's a
Benny.
great red shirt. I almost wore my shirt, but I'm working, so I have to look professional. And then the radio station is one of the hall radio stations, but I'm not sure which one it is. That shows
I
up
really
there
don't
as-
know
as
either,
part of
but
a
we'll know
sponsorship.
more as time goes on.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll be promoting your sponsors there at the event.
Oh,
They'll have
absolutely.
a
Yeah.
presence at the event, and I'm sure they'll
In
be
all
able-
our publications,
Yeah.
the day of the event, we try very hard to thank them
Yeah.
for what they're doing to make it possible.
Yeah, well, they're invaluable when you're trying to put on a
Yeah.
great community
Right.
event.
And they're all local. They're all Groton local, pretty much. So that's good too. It's a very community-oriented event in every way.
Because like the Groton Rec Karate group come
yeah,
down
they
and
come
they
and do
do
a
a
demo.
display for us. And as I say, there's something for everybody. Whittles comes every year. They're wonderful, and they set up over near the playground, And they usually do pumpkins, and they do face painting, and all the things that you would see at a small fair are happening.
I'm hearing that there are a lot of interactive activities that your visitors are going to be able to do with a lot of these vendors that you've had. And that always makes any kind of an event more fun.
Oh, and there's also a lot of craft booths where you can make purchases and get a head start on your shopping.
Crafts and artists and that
gifts
type
and
of
things,
thing. Yeah. And of course, all important, food. Food. For both, as you mentioned, the volunteers, but your visitors as well. Everybody loves to come in and enjoy some food. Do you have some particular food vendors that you'd like to share with us today?
Is it Fitch High that sells the
Well, actually,
hot
no,
dogs
it's the
who is it?
football parents
Okay,
support
so
group. They have a building down there, so they do the hamburgers and hot dogs, and that was one of their largest fundraisers now for the youth football. But then we have probably about 10 to 12 vendors that come in. So we have everything from fried dough to meatball grinders. I mean, you name it, we have it.
Some ethnic food too. I don't know, is there Chinese there or?
What we try to do is just take one vendor for each type of food that they fix. So it's very nice. And I think it was, we have a couple of community groups and come in, and they do food as well. But, and then the GBA, we do the drinks, the water and Coke and so forth. That's our part to raise a little money, because I think that's something important that people should know. One of the reasons we started this is because we do a Christmas parade, the GBA. Well, we found out that Christmas parades cost money, and we were not in a position, we didn't have any real money, so we started the Fall Festival for two reasons: to expose businesses, but also to raise money to pay for the events that the GBA does as well. So it pays for the bands and so forth in the Christmas parade. And also we do some other things, like we do a Groton, I brought
did
a
you bring the
note
Groton
here.
Guide?
The Groton Guide is something
See if I
that
can
we
find
do,
it.
which is a map and different events that are going on. And we need to update it. So we're raising money to do that, because now, of course, we want to have the water taxis as part of it.
Oh, you're right, there's another one.
Right.
So all the money that comes from this goes right back into the community.
Well, you've just answered one of my very important questions, and that was, this is a nonprofit, obviously, that money is going to back into the community, and that's always very important.
100% too. We don't take, and none of us, we're all volunteers.
No.
None of us take a.
We have the assistance of, because we are a division of the Groton Mystic Chamber, and so they're wonderful in helping us with this. They handle the money for us, then we use it, as we need to. And something just shot through my head that I was going to tell you. Oh, another thing we do there that I think is very, very important. The Groton Rotary does the Amber Alert registrations.
Oh, yes.
That's where you bring your children, and they will take a picture and the appropriate identification, so that the police department does have it, should there ever be a reason for it. And that's all free. So that's another event that we have there every year that's excellent. So if the parents are thinking about it, bring your children, and they can have a great time. You can have a great time, because there's something for every age.
Are you still have openings for either food vendors or general vendors for the event? Are you still looking to fill space?
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah, for general vendors, for sure. I think we still can take some food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying one day to be all the way around the field. We've made it about 3/4 of the way, so we are definitely open for people coming in, because there's a nice track that goes around the field, and that's how we set up. And our goal is someday to go pretty much around that track.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned earlier, it's a pretty big track to fill. So I can imagine there's a lot of room.
We've at least doubled, though, since we started, at least.
Oh,
maybe
absolutely.
We were 1/4 of the track, and now we're almost 3/4, you said? Yeah.
And of course, again, all that information, if there's a vendor out there or an artist or a crafter or food, if they're interested in joining, they can go to that website, find that information. I'm sure there's tents available for rental and chairs and tables and all those types of things. in
Yeah.
addition to taking their space.
Or they can bring their own,
Yep.
the tent. We've helped them set up their own tents before too. I don't know how that, it depends on
We
availability
do
of how
that.
many
With
volunteers
the
we have,
volunteers in
yeah.
the morning, we'll set up the
It's-
tents for you.
So it doesn't have to be our tent, it can be one you
Right.
bring.
Mhm.
That's,
Whatever they need assistance with, we're there to make that happen.
Well, that's how you create a good community event,
Right.
is to make it as easy as possible, obviously, for the vendors who are going to participate.
right.
Get that mood going, get everybody happy, get everybody set up, and then when people start arriving, you're ready to go.
We've had comments from vendors too that it's the only festival they've been to that had that much help for them, where they didn't feel like they were on their own and they had just kind of come in and set up and didn't know what was up. So someone greets them when they come in, and so it's very easy. And I looked up that deadline in September. So September 23rd is the
Okay.
cutoff for getting the good rate.
Okay, so September 23rd,
Goes up
you
after
get
that.
a discounted rate for a vendor to join the participation, and then after that, the rate goes up a little bit. And is
Right.
there a cutoff date by which any vendor has to sign up?
1st of October.
Okay.
We prefer it sooner because now we're organizing where they're going to go. And the
Right,
more we
yeah.
can organize, the better it'll be,
'Cause we-
because
Right.
we try to make it diverse as you're walking around to the different businesses. We try to break it so it becomes much more interesting.
Do you have sort of an estimate already as to how many actual vendors do you expect, or do you have,
What
or
did we
you
have
hope to
last
get?
year?
Well, I know that, the only thing I can tell you is I know the number we have already is higher than the number we had last year.
Well,
So it's
that's always
over
a-
100
That's always
though.
a
Yeah.
good thing to grow.
It's well over
Yeah.
100.
Over 100,
Yeah.
okay.
So it grows each year. And we have new events going on each year, new acts of different things that are, not in the booth, but around the booth, out in the middle, So as I say, there's really something for everybody.
And we have some vendors who've been pretty much there every year since we started, and people come looking for them.
Yeah,
So if you're going to be a vendor who's very consistently there, you have clientele that's seeking you out when they come.
Yeah, and this,
Yeah.
of course, is we're celebrating Submarine Century.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I would assume that even though that Submarine Century year is winding down a little bit, do you expect a component of that also at the Groton Fall Festival?
actually, I was reading the other day that they're going to bring several activities that they do on the base to the Fall Festival. I believe they're going to be bringing their dogs that are trained. What's the group that does the things with the rifles? Oh,
The drill
Oh,
team?
yeah, they'll be there. They're going to,
That's always amazing to watch.
yeah.
They're just amazing. Yeah.
So
They were
this,
at the R&C event.
right.
Right, yeah, they did. It really is.
So there's going to be quite a few things that are going to be there from the submarine base as kind of their finale.
Yep. Yeah, and that's very important.
Oh,
Because
it is.
obviously we are a submarine community, and supporting them by bringing them and inviting them into these events is very, very important.
Right.
And especially Submarine Century, 100 years of
Right.
having the sub base here in Groton, New London area is huge.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. They're in every part of our community. If we were to one day say that if everybody that's retired or active duty put on a red shirt, this town would be all red.
It
That's
certainly
true, it
would.
would.
It certainly would, and especially if
Yeah.
you included anybody, military or non-military, whose life is in one way or the other affected by having the Navy base here. It's I don't
Absolutely.
think
Everyone.
you'd find one person that in some way or another is not affected directly by or indirectly by having that base here. So
Yep.
they deserve all the attention and that we can offer for them. So,
Right.
especially this year.
Yeah. No, they're a great group. They've been a lot of fun to do things with over the summer.
And and as you already said, the volunteers.
Yeah.
I know the events
Volunteers,
I've
yeah.
done, those Navy volunteers that we get, the men and women, their energy is so high, they'll do anything that you ask of them, and they do it so beautifully well. So it's great to have them because they kind of boost everybody's energy up.
That's true.
A new thing that we had last year, and I'm hoping it'll get a little more attention this year because they're coming back. But there's a group in this area that still work with, in the trucks. What do they communicate with in the trucks? Oh, that's awful. My
What, a
brain's dead.
sub-base group?
No. It's a private club, and it used to be that when you drove in a truck,
Oh,
a big
a
truck,
CB club?
CB club. Thank you so much.
Oh,
And
I
they're,
thought you were going to get into
they're still
geocaching.
in existence, and it's so neat. They have a whole setup, and they can show it to kids. And actually, if we ever had something really horrific happen here, they're the only ones that could still communicate. So they're really vital, and they've joined us last year, and they'll be coming back this year. And it'd be really interesting for people to know more about that.
So not ham radio, you're talking about CB, right?
CB
Yeah.
ladies. Yeah.
Well, in today's world of cell phones and everything else, yes, the CB is a lot of youngsters probably are thinking right now, what's that?
Exactly.
What's a
exactly.
CB?
Yeah.
I've never heard of
Groton
that.
Fall
Come
Festival
to the
and
Groton
you'll find
Fall
out, right?
Festival and you're going to
Yeah.
find out.
You can have experience of it.
Now, I know I keep using the word over and over again of being diverse, but it is very diverse. There's lots of different things, and you know, you just have to come to see how much there is, and it's a rain or shine event. So even if it's raining, we'll be there. And
Right,
We've been
yeah.
very fortunate. We only had 1 year that it did rain, and we had 1 year that it was very windy.
But even then, we could stake things down pretty well. That was okay. It's usually beautiful weather. It's that lovely fall.
Well, I'm
Leaf-peeping weather,
going to
you know?
predict right now that you're going to have an absolutely spectacular day. And a lot of people, when I have my events and I say ahead of time, oh, it's going to be a beautiful day, they say, don't say that, you're going to jinx it. And I say, oh, no, it's the opposite way. You
think
tell
positive.
Yeah.
Mother Nature right now what
It's
you
gonna be
want.
good.
It's going to be good, and she'll come through for you.
And it's such a fun day. It's just, I mean, it's really fun.
Yeah,
There's
we're
so much going
exhausted
on. It's
at the end of the
colorful
day,
and it's
but
fun.
it is a great
Yeah.
day.
Well, it's a good exhaustion.
Yeah.
It really is. I can say that firsthand.
Right.
That kind of the energy is so much fun, and it
Yeah.
really does sound like like you said, you've got so many diverse things going on that there's a little bit of something for everybody.
Right.
A lot of great interactive activities, which is always fun.
Great food.
Oh,
Yeah,
got to have
that's
that
good.
food. I know this probably
there we
won't
go.
show up very well on the screen, but the information is there. Groton Fall Festival, Saturday, October 8th, 11 a.m., 5 p.m., Paquonic Plains Park, downtown Groton. GrotonBiz.com, you'll get all the information. Rain or shine, all kinds of great things going on, including Submarine Century, which we just said is tremendous, absolutely tremendous. So do either of you have a favorite aspect of this event that you really look forward to the most? Or is it just so much going on that
I just
you
love
can't?
walking around and seeing all the colorful tents or booths and what's going on in them. And I have to say, since my business doesn't have a booth anymore, it's because I volunteer. I really love volunteering and like selling sodas with Lian, that kind of thing. We have fun. Even the volunteers are having fun.
Pretty much my responsibility that day. I have
Yeah.
a couple of wonderful people that help me out with it. But because we can raise a little extra money, I'm usually in the booth. But it's wonderful just talking to the people that come up and
Yeah,
talk with you.
Everybody's happy that day.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Now, are there, between the Groton Business Association and the Mystic Chamber of Commerce, obviously they both have a presence there, are there things that visitors can buy, like T-shirts or
I don't
Oh.
hats or
know.
any of those types of things?
I know we've done shirts in the past, and I know there's been some conversation about it, but I'm not absolutely sure this year. We have different committees, and then you get together and you talk about everything, but I'm not really sure what's happening on the shirt aspect.
Yeah.
Would certainly be a good idea, because people like, especially when people come come out of the other places. They
Souvenirs.
like they like a shirt that says Groton and but I really don't know the answer to that one right now.
It just goes to show how much we make an effort to make this for everybody else. We're like a
Yeah.
little bit neglecting our own booth.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know often, I know at some of the events I've done that we've had volunteer T-shirts.
Yeah.
And
Oh, we
that
have
we do
volunteer
have.
T-shirts.
oh, but
I've got my
but
T-shirt.
your visitors are going to see those volunteer T-shirts, and I guarantee you they're going to be asking, "Where can I get one?" So you
Yeah.
might want to think
Volunteer.
about that because
Yeah.
people love
Might not be
those.
too late. We could bring it back
Yeah,
to
it's
one
kind
of
of
the
a funny one. It
committees.
says, looking for a good volunteer, and it's got an arrow just pointing at yourself, and then
Yeah.
it says Groton GBA. But I will certainly bring it up very quickly,
Yeah,
see
little-
if there's
little
something we can do
there's-
with it.
Oh, there's always time. There's always time for something like that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we're winding down a little bit, do you both have some extra closing remarks that things that I haven't asked, that we haven't talked about, that you want to share with our viewers?
Well, if I could say anything, it's that the more businesses that come and get involved, the better exposure for Groton. That's what it's really all about. People sometimes don't have that interaction. They may walk into your store and walk back out of your store. You don't have an opportunity to just talk with them. Here you have an opportunity on a real one-on-one. And you may have something in your store that's exactly what they want, or you might have your home business that's exactly what somebody's looking for. So it's really important for the Groton businesses to participate in this. So that's my emphasis. We'll do everything else. You just bring your business.
Right, it's a Groton Business Association, so that is our focus to
Yep.
enhance business in Groton, which makes the whole economy of Groton better, makes people want to come more. So that's the purpose of our organization.
Right. So as Lian just said, it's an opportunity for the Groton businesses to be part of this great event, and the visitors will be meeting the people behind a lot of these businesses, getting to know them, and what a great way of promoting that Groton business by being out there at such a great event.
We have a lot of people moving into the area now, and this is an opportunity to find out what's really out there, and it's amazing as I talk to people that I'm meeting that are coming into the area. They don't even know the area, never mind the businesses. So this is just a great opportunity.
Well, Groton has, and I've said this many times on my show, and I've had a lot of great events. We've talked about a lot of great events on the show, and Groton is full of not just the military, of course. We've got so many beautiful historic sites. There's so many things to see and do, and we've got a lot of wonderful, great businesses that our visitors and viewers can shop with, or restaurants and all that type of thing. So it's terrific. Well, I want to thank you both very much for coming on the show today to talk about the Groton Fall Festival. Remember, everybody, Groton Fall Festival, Saturday, October 8th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Paquonic Plains Park, grotonbiz.com. It's a great, great community event. Please put that on your calendar. I also want to make mention, put it on your calendar, that on Thursday, September 22nd, here in SEC TV Studios, these beautiful studios in downtown Groton, there's going to be an open house, art show, wine and cheese. Come down, see the studio. I'll be here. I'd love to meet you. Put that on your calendar. Again, Groton Fall Festival, art show. Thank you all for tuning in to Around the Town with Mark. Please come back and see us again real soon. We'll have another terrific show for you. Thank you again to my great guests. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again on Around the Town with Mark.